We're going to start off with this because you people don't read the Constitution. You expect everybody else to do your work for you. I'm sorry you got lazy, but you know that most of this is your fault. The preamble to the Bill of Rights. What's it say in there? The conventions, the number of the states having at the time of their adopting the Constitution expressed a desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. Now, it says declaratory and abusive. Okay. What does declaratory mean? It means it's explanatory. It's designed to fix what was uncertain or doubtful. That's why they put that in the Constitution, to make sure that nobody could ever infringe upon your right to keep and own firearms. Second Amendment to our federal Constitution recognizes that the God-given right to keep and bear arms is to be free from any interference whatsoever from the federal government. Accordingly, the federal government is nowhere in the Constitution granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns and ammunition. Thus, all restrictive laws made by Congress, all regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional, as they are outside the scope of powers granted to the Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restriction of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to Congress or to the executive branch. And you'll see them son of a bitches trying to use that thing, Commerce Clause. Commerce Clause was only given to the Congress to stop the different states from adding tariffs and taxes to goods as they pass through the state. Nothing more. It was nothing more expressed or implied. Now here you go from, this is Publius Huda. Her name is Joanna Martin. And here's what she says about gun control. Our framers understood that a free state cannot exist without an armed and trained populace, i.e. the militia. Accordingly, they wrote a constitution which prohibits the federal and the state government from infringing the natural rights of the people to keep and bear arms. Under our Constitution, the federal government has no authority to make any laws whatsoever over the country at large, restricting the rights of the people to keep and bear arms. None. None of them background checks, none of that. Gun control is not an enumerated power. Furthermore, the Second Amendment expressly forbids the federal government from infringing upon the people to keep and bear arms. The states are also prohibited from infringing upon the right of the people to keep and bear arms by Article 1, Section 8, Clauses 15 and 16 of the U.S. Constitution. Those two clauses provide for the militia of the several states and implicitly prohibits the state from making any laws which would interfere with the arming and training of the militiamen in their states. Every person out there is a militia person. I think it's 16 years up. If the people want to have a gun, that's their business. I wanted you to see that yourself. Sometimes you've got to see things that, well, it can't be true. It is true. I'm telling you, the federal government and your state government has no recourse at all concerning firearms. I told you, it's in the preamble to the Bill of Rights. The convention of a number of the states having at the time of adopting the Constitution, they were worried about people, the gun thing, expressed a desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. And what are those restrictive clauses? They're called the amendments. That's what your restrictive clauses are. I better get this up where you can see it. Those are the clauses. So when any son of a bitchin' politician, who doesn't write laws, by the way, they don't write laws. It's done on the outside, and it's given to these doggone congressmen to pass it. And they're so stupid and gullible and greedy, they'll pass anything. They'd even throw their own mother and grandmother in jail if they had a chance. Depends on the amount of money they get. But the people, I'm telling you what, you stop listening to these assholes and you go, whoa, buckwheat, it ends right there. Stop. Halt. We're done with these people. Any son of a bitch that's trying to write a gun law is trying to destroy your Constitution. And those people are traitors to this country and should be hung by the neck until they're dead. They're breaking the law and trying to destroy our country. Now, I'm sorry, you say anything about, oh, we can't do, they're bound so that they can't have no blood, can't be spilled. Bullshit. When you're a traitor to this country, when you're trying to sabotage the Constitution, you're a dead man walking. Okay, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Get with the program. This is gun control. I'll put a link. You guys go read this yourself. Get it through your head. The federal government nor the states have any power over your right to keep and bear firearms. They can't limit you. They can't limit the ammo. They can't restrict you by making you do background checks. It's a bunch of hooey. They can't make you jump through hoops on a right that you already had long before the Constitution was even written. Those laws are a higher law than the Constitution itself. Okay, I'm done kind of ranting. You're on your own, people. It's getting old. Wake up.